We're going to open up the floor for a question and answer period. So if there's any questions you guys have for the panelists.
You had thrown a couple. Or maybe I don't need that.
Okay.
Well, hopefully I can bring up 2 points. One, I was wondering, have you ever heard of William Bloom's Rogue State, A Guide to the World's Only Superpower? It's supposedly recommended reading by Osama bin Laden as to why the attacks took place. And there's a transcript from a French radio interview Zbigniew Brzezinski did. And the title of it is How Jimmy Carter and I Started Mujahideen. You might find that interesting. But that was basically a question if you've heard of William Bloom in that book. My second question is, are you aware Obama has pledged to send troops to 7 military bases in Colombia? That was recently reported by the BBC. I just wanted to get your take on what you think about that.
Okay. I haven't actually heard of that book, but I believe a while ago I read the speech that Osama bin Laden gave about why they attacked, and it's funny. It's kind of a mix of things I would agree with and some things that are just unbelievably horrible. But you know, he talks about the cultural. I'm trying to remember it. At any rate, it seems like he postures as an anti-imperialist, and you can tell that's why a lot of people are interested in bin Laden, or were, probably not as much anymore, is because they view the attacks in the United States as anti-imperialist attacks. You know, there may have been a section of fundamentalists that agree with his views on, you know, how women should wear burqas or something, but yeah, so I mean, like I said, in my opinion, it's kind of a populist movement. It makes sense that people who have no solution, who are just in the, you know, utter dire poverty, have no alternative to turn to something like that, you know. But no, I haven't heard of William Bloom. As far as Colombia, I'm not surprised. In my opinion, there's revolutionary developments going on in Latin America right now. And the president of Colombia, Uribe, is, you know, also in my opinion, kind of a puppet of the U.S. You know, not to mention a lot of the drug traffickers there have direct connections with the government. And so, yeah, so it's not surprising at all. I hadn't heard that either, though. But we may be headed, especially after this coup in Honduras, you know, maybe they're thinking they can do this in Venezuela and Bolivia too. I don't know.
All right, is there anybody else?
Yeah, we're going to go back and forth.
Okay, go right ahead.
Be equal.
Sorry, it's my first time doing this.
That's a great job. No, but you know what's interesting though? I didn't hear about it, but there are, you know, some archetypes, follows the same archetype of how power acts. But I think what is also important is that I think a critical thing to do. I mean, I wish people on YouTube could see there's probably about 35,000 people here, so that's significant, and we're going to get to every one of them. But we've got to information share. We've got to show people where to get the right information. And what you did was awesome. And I mean, I think we should get to a point where we come with lists of books, or we come with periodicals that are alternative. Like what you said right there is in another great tradition of books like, if you want to find out what's going on now, look at the Pentagon Papers. Okay, I mean, it's pretty extensive, but volume 5 pretty much goes through debunking by political science and experts. Very important book to read. It went through 4 novels, Chuck Revell edition, and then the 5th one was edited by Noam Chomsky Howard Zinn, which most people know. It's great. Aside from that, people's history. Once you read that, not going to think the same. Something that I'll get you thinking about, just thinking in a different paradigm. Joseph Campbell's Hero of a Thousand Faces. Awesome book. I mean, if you can, try to write them down. It's it's not like these are brand new. You know, Abby Hoffman's Revolution for the hell of it. You know, you wanna see. I made wrong moves in the peace movement. I made a lot of wrong moves. One time I simulated a breach, which, you know, that wasn't the answer, but it was something that wasn't tried before. But that's the thing, you gotta just keep trying to find what's new and what's different. That was one of the things that said, you know, you gotta kind of keep it fresh and new. So, and let's see, just keep listening to some things like George Carlin. Do that. Leave here meeting at least 2 or 3 people out of the 36,000. So do that. Expand your social network. That's what you've got to do. There's no way in hell we're going to be able to make it by pushing other people away. There's no way. But also with what you said, I think it goes in the tradition of how we're treated like children. How can people believe stuff like that? Did you catch what Rumsfeld said? I'm going to try not to answer that question. What? I'm going to cry. Let's see. The troop deployment. No, it doesn't surprise me at all. But it goes in another tradition of you can't hate a kind face. You know, I mean, they all talk about people who are inherently evil and angry. If they were, they would have had people like Rumsfeld, Cheney, and Bush burned at the stake, okay? But it just goes with that tradition. You can't hate a nice, sweet, kind face, especially if it packages up bullshit and dog shit and tries to sell it to you in a nice, sweet way. So, there you have it. You know, don't trust them. Do not. Hell, that's what democracy is. It's oversight. It's not trusting them. You're not supposed to. So, that's pretty much it. You're going to keep having troop deployments until you call the bullshit card. No, get them home. No, there's another way. I'm tired of being a coward. I'm going to question you. Get them home.
Regarding the deficit, it's obvious we need to end the war, but why do you think that selling some of the BLM land to citizens is not suggested?
As far selling the BLM lands?
Some of the BLM land to citizens. Why has that not been suggested to help with the deficit?
Well, it seems to me like the main problem isn't, let me put it this way. If we put the dollar on the gold standard, okay, what would end up happening is all this fictitious capital, all this fake money that's been building is going to disappear, right? Which sounds okay, except that we would be in a Great Depression tomorrow, you know? I don't think that there's going to be any kind of solution within this kind of framework. I don't think within the framework of the profit system or with profit motive there's any way of solving this crisis. This crisis has been created because capitalism is in decline, in my opinion, and because the rate of profit is declining. That is why we've been forced to rely on speculation bubbles. So selling BLM land isn't, in my opinion, it's not going to solve anything, especially long term. All it's going to do is sell away whatever wilderness we have left. But that's just my opinion.
Here, here.
I just that's not my area, but I think it's another way of saying, hey, look, there's another problem over here. You know, don't look what I'm doing. There's the problem. That's just me.